7.3 Percents and decimals. The objective of this lesson is to use decimals to solve percent problems. To write decimals as percents, we simply take the decimal number and multiply by 100. This is the same thing as moving the decimal point 2 places to the right and adding a percent sign. Okay, so here you see 0.62. If I multiply by 100, all I have to do is shift the decimal 2 places to the right and write 62%. And remember, 10 represents 1 place. 2 zeros represents 2 places. Same thing for 1. I just have to multiply by 100 to get 100%, or shift 2 decimal places to the right. The same thing goes for 2.3. Multiply by 100, shift the decimal places to the right 2 times, and get 230%. To write a percent as a decimal, I need to divide by 100. Or, in other words, move the decimal point 2 places to the left and remove the percent sign. For example, for 75%, I could write that as 75 over 100. And remember, because of the 2 zeros, it tells me that I can shift the decimal place 2 places to the left. So I know my decimal point here is here. So 1, 2. So 0.75. And for 0.4, if you want to write out the fraction, it will be 0.4 over 100. Shift the decimal place 2 places to the left because of the 2 zeros in the denominator. Then we could rewrite that as 0.004. Or simply just shift the decimal 2 places to the left. And 168, same thing. Okay, shift 1.68. Okay. And to write fractions as percents, I need to express the fraction over 100. So for example, 3 over 8, I know that 8 times 125 gives me 1,000. Okay, I need to do the same thing to the numerator, multiply by 125 to get 375. Okay, then I need to shift the decimal point 1 place to the left. So I'm going to write it out again to show you. 1 decimal place to the left, so that I only have 2 zeros in the denominator. Then I can express this fraction as a percent, 37.5 over 100, or just simply 37.5%. As for 5 over 3, I can rewrite this as 1 over 2/3 and then 1.6 repeating. Again, I want to write this over 1, multiply by 100 because I want the denominator to be 100 in order to express it as a percent. Then I can shift the decimal in the numerator 2 places to the right, 166.6 repeating. And this step is the same thing as this step here. So we would get 166.6%. For finding the percent of a number, for example, find 10.5% of 5600. I can express 10.5% as a fraction, 10.5 over 100. And then of translates to multiply. And copy 5600. To solve, I canceled out the zeros. And then all I have to do now is multiply 10.5 by 56. So I can split 10.5 up, 10 plus 0.5 to make things easier. 56 times 10, 560. 56 times 0.5 is 28. Okay, this is the distributed property. Okay, and then 560 plus 28 is 588. Let's practice. Part A. Write the decimal as a percent. So all we have to do is multiply by 100 or shift the decimal place 2 places to the right. The decimal 2 places, 2 times to the right. Okay, so write the decimal as a percent. So 0.461 times 100 gives me 46.1%. 5 times 100 gives me 500%. 0.9 times 100 gives me 190%. 0.007 times 100. Be careful, you're shifting the decimal place 2 places to the right, so 0.7%. Part B, write the percent as a decimal. So we're going to do the opposite. We need to divide by 100 and shift the decimal places to the left 2 times. So I'm going to write that down so that you can remember. Or shift the decimal to the left 2 times. So for 27%, I know the decimal point here is right here. So I'm going to shift it 2 places to the left, 0.27. And for 184%, I can just shift the decimal point 2 places to the left and get 1.84. And for 3%, same thing. 1, 2. Again, add a 0. So this would be 0.03. And 0.55, okay, the decimal point, it doesn't matter. You still shift it 2 places to the left. Add a 0. So we get 0.0055. When you write your answer, make sure you write the decimal point very clearly. To write the fraction as a percent, okay, remember, we need to express it over 100. Okay, a number p over 100. So 8 times 125 gives me 1,000. 7 times 125 gives me 875. Okay, and then I can shift the decimal place both in the numerator and the denominator 1 place to the left because I only want 2 zeros in the denominator. You can rewrite that as 87.5 over 100. So this would be 87.5%. And to convert 5 over 12 to a percent, we could simply divide. Okay, and we can use 4, 48, and 20, bring down a 0. Use 1, 12, 8, bring down a 0, 6. Then that would be 72, 8. Oh, it repeats. So 0.416 repeating, and we need to multiply by 100. Shift the decimal 2 places to the right, so 41.6 repeating percent. Okay, but if you don't like to use the division method, we can use a pattern. Okay, we can take 1/6 and we can divide that by 2. You get 1/12. And we need to find out what 1/12 is. Okay, so we know that 1/6 is 0.16 repeating. I'm going to write a couple 6's here. Okay, I'm going to write divide by 2. Alright, I'm going to split this up. 0.16 plus 0.00666 repeating. Technically, you can solve this in your head if you choose to use a pattern. Okay, so 0.16 divided by 2 is 0.08. 0.00666 repeating divided by 2, you will get 0.00333 repeating. And when we add this together, we get 0.08333 repeating, and 112 will be equal to that. And then we could do a little trick. We take 0.5 and add a couple zeros at the end, and we can subtract 0.08333 repeating. We'll just add another 0. Okay, and then when we carry over, get 76614, and then we can deduce here that this is 6 repeating. So 0.41666 repeating. The reason why we would take 0.083 repeating and subtract it from 0.5 is because if we use a number line, okay, let this be 0, let this be 1, so 1 could be 12 over 12, and here this would be your midpoint, 6 over 12, which is also equal to 0.5, and then 5 over 12 will be here. And we need to find the length from 0 to 5 over 12, okay, which is 0.416 repeating. So we need to take away this little part here, which is equal to 1 over 12. 1 over 12, remember, is equal to 0.08333. So technically, if you can remember 1 over 6, which is equal to 0.16 repeating, and solve all of this in your head to get 0.08333 repeating, and subtract that from 0.5 to get 0.416 repeating, you can do it really fast. But if this way is too complicated for you, then just simply divide. And finally, we need to rewrite this as a percent. So I'm going to write it here. 0.416 repeating times 100 will equal to 41.6, the 6 repeating percent. And for 11 over 6, again, you can rewrite this as 1 and 10 over 12, and simply do division. Okay, and this would be 8, 96, 40, and then 12, 3, 36, 40, and then you see it's beginning to repeat, so it should be 0.83 with a 3 repeating. And you could rewrite this mixed number as 1.83 with a 3 repeating. And then you got to multiply by 100 to convert it to a percent. So shift the decimal 2 places to the right. So you get 183.3 with the 3 repeating percent. percent. And to show you the other way, I'm going to take the mixed number, 1 and 10 over 12, I'm going to split it up. 10 times 1 over 12. And from the previous example, I remember that 1 over 12 is 0.083, the 3 repeating. I have 1 0 here, so I can shift the decimal place 1 place to the right since I'm multiplying. So that gives me 0.83 repeating. I'm going to add the 1. And again, multiply by 100 because I want to convert this decimal to a percent. I get 183.3%, the same answer. Okay? Okay, I'm going to erase this because I need space to calculate. And for 5 over 4, okay, this one is really quick. I can rewrite this as 1 and 1 over 4. Okay, and then I know 1 over 4 is 0.25. And all I have to do is multiply by 100 because I want to convert this to a percent. So 125%. Okay, another way to look at this is you can take 5 over 4, multiply by 25. Okay, this will be 125 over 100. And since it's already over 100, we can rewrite this as 125 over percent. Same thing. Part D, find the percent of the number. Okay, so to rewrite this as an expression, 20% of 85, I can rewrite 20% as a fraction of what we just multiply, 85, recopy. I can simplify 20 over 100 to 1/5, okay? And then I can simplify 5 with 85. Right? 85 divided by 5 is 17. So 17 is your answer. And for this other problem, 3.8 over 100, multiply by 45. And I can first simplify 100 with 45 or 100 with 3.8. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to choose 145 and 45 because I don't want to deal with the decimal yet. So I'm going to divide 100 by 5 to get 20. Divide 45 by 5 to get 9. And then here I can divide by 2. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 3.8 divided by 2 is 1.9. And that's all I can do. Okay. And because there's 1 0 here, I can shift the decimal 1 place to the left to get 0.19 times 9. And here we go. 19 times 9. And then 2 decimal places, so 1.71 is your answer. And for this problem, 125 over 100, multiply that by 64. I can divide by 25. 100 divided by 25 is 4. 125 divided by 25 is 5. And then I can simplify 4 with 64 to get 16 here. And then 5 times 16 would be 80. And for this next problem, I could write 0.5 as a fraction and multiply that by 600. And I can first cancel out the zeros. And here, 0.5 times 6, we can get 3. Word problems. Geography. The area of Earth's dry land is about 58 million square miles. So we need to represent this number with 6 zeros. The land area of North America is about 16% of Earth's land area. What is the approximate land area of North America? So here I know 16%, 16 over 100, of Earth's land area, which is 58 million. I can solve this expression, okay, to find out the approximate land area of North America, which is represented by 16%. So we can first cancel out the 2 zeros, and then we can multiply 16 by 58 and see what we get. Okay, and then 8 to 9, 9 to 8, and how many zeros do we have left? 4, 2, 3, 4, commas, 9,280,000 square miles. So remember to label. In a survey of 1,100 adults, 2% chose cooking as their favorite leisure activity. How many adults chose cooking? So 2% chose cooking, and we need to find out how many are there of 1,100 adults. So we just take 2%. Remember, of is just multiply by 1100. Okay, we write 2% as a fraction. We can simplify, take out the zeros, and then 2 times 11. You can write 22 adults. That's it.